Horror Nights presents 4 true scary Snapchat horror stories. 10 seconds. That is how long the usual Snapchat video lasted when the app debuted in 2011. 6 years later, many Snapchat videos and messages barely last that long. Like messages in Mission Impossible, one of the great appeals of using Snapchat is the fact that opened videos and messages self-destruct after 24 hours. Unopened snaps hang on for 30 days until they disappear. Theoretically, the transitory nature of Snapchat should mean that it keeps embarrassing material from having a long shelf life. However, as the following stories show, bad deeds recorded on Snapchat do not just vanish. Over the last few years, murderers, terrorists, and other criminals have utilized new technologies like GoPro cameras, Facebook live streaming, and Snapchat to thoroughly document their antisocial behavior. There is an entire underground of YouTube videos and live leaks that show unimaginably brutal images of death and destruction. These videos showcase not only the pathological narcissism of the guilty individuals, but they are also a commentary on how social media, which is supposed to bring us closer together, can actually desensitize us to extreme violence. Murders, rapists, and other criminals have for some reason all felt the need to document their behavior on Snapchat under the false belief that their videos or pictures will not come back to haunt them. Fortunately for police investigators, modern cybersecurity tools allow officials to retrieve otherwise lost snaps. Clearly, 10 seconds is enough to put someone behind bars for the rest of their life. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button to be the first to see our newest videos. Number 4. Facebook Famous. The overall increase in cell phone usage has led to an uptick in sexting. According to statistics, 11% of American teenagers have admitted that they have sent sexually explicit texts, or sexts, to complete strangers. 17% of sexters have also admitted to sharing their lewd images with other people. More disturbing still is the evidence that shows that a full 12% of all sexters feel pressured into sending these racy photos and videos. As the show To Catch a Predator consistently revealed, sexual content sent from adults to minors can often lead to sex crimes in the real world. 1 in 5 American teenagers claims that they have received unwanted sexual harassment or solicitation online. A majority of Internet predators are adult males between the ages of 18 and 55. Most of their victims are minors between the ages of 11 and 15. Sometimes online and real-world predators target both underaged and legal-aged victims. In August of 2017, police officers in Camden, New Jersey arrested 24-year-old Mason Mallon of Gibbsboro, New Jersey, and charged him with aggravated sexual assault, and other crimes. According to investigators, Mallon caught the attention of police after sexually explicit and very violent images appeared on his Snapchat account. Most of these pictures included a bloody and nude young woman who has yet to be publicly identified. So far, this ongoing case revolves around several images showing the victim lying unconscious. The 18-year-old woman was taken to a nearby hospital after one of her friends found her bloody and disoriented. The victim's remaining wounds are so bad, it's likely that she will require reconstructive surgery in addition to the 2 surgeries she has already undergone. Mallon attacked the young woman after she had consumed a large portion of vodka while playing video games at his home. When the victim recovered consciousness, Mallon reportedly told her that they had engaged in rough but consensual sex. Mallon also told his victim that the blood was from a miscarriage that she had suffered. The victim told Mallon not to share the photos online, but Mallon shared them anyway. Unsurprisingly, this vicious attack is not Mallon's first. Back in February 2016, Mallon sexually assaulted 2 minors. In this case, Mallon stands accused of endangering the welfare of a child. When asked why he took such disturbing photos of her, Mallon told his victim that he wanted to make her Facebook famous. Number 3. Ride or Die. 19-year-old accused killer Salvador Alejandro Sanchez apparently bases his life on the film franchise Fast and Furious. Specifically, Sanchez claims that he believes wholeheartedly in the credo of ride or die. Sanchez put his borrowed philosophy on display in April 2017. On April 27th, Sanchez and his friend, 20-year-old Matham Alfaraji, decided to smoke marijuana and drink brandy in Mountain View Park in Escondido, California. At some point, Alfaraji told Sanchez about his dim economic prospects and his anger over the fact that he was still working for his father's landscaping company despite his recent graduation from high school. Sanchez reacted to these complaints in a very bizarre way. The former wrestler at Escondido High School challenged his friend to a fight to the death. Sanchez later told police that he took his helpless friend down to the ground with 2 wrestling maneuvers called the crossface and double trouble. Alfaraji died because Sanchez suspected him of disloyalty to their mutual crew. As Alfaraji pleaded for his life, Sanchez recorded his friend's final words. In the recording obtained by police, Sanchez can be heard barking, "Tell them why you are crying," and "Tell them what you did." Most frightening of all, Sanchez reminds Alfaraji, "You know why I'm doing this." These audio recordings were followed by a subsequent image showing Alfaraji's blood on Sanchez's clothes and knuckles. Sanchez's other social media posts also featured rap lyrics about killing people. Police officers quickly learned that Sanchez had planned the killing all along. He deliberately wore white clothing to the park in order to show off his victim's blood. As for what Alfaraji did that made Sanchez so enraged, all the killer told police was that his former friend was meeting new people and making decisions that put their shared friends in danger. Sanchez eventually took police officers to Alfaraji's body, which was left in an area of tall grass in the Rincon Reservation. 2 mutual friends named Alex Gendron and Kevin Rosado were the ones who told police to investigate Alfaraji's disappearance. According to them, Sanchez showed no remorse about what he had done. Furthermore, Gendron told news reporters that Sanchez felt justified in killing his former friend. An autopsy revealed that Alfaraji had died of a combination of a compressed neck and facial trauma. Sanchez pled not guilty to the first-degree murder charges in court, but investigators believe that a recovered Snapchat hit list indicates that Sanchez may have wanted to kill more people. Number 2. Ryan was not the last one. Many consider selfies to be the scourge of modern society. The abrasive, highly narcissistic act of documenting yourself is so ingrained in modern teens and young adults that it is beyond parody. In 2015, more people died from selfie-related injuries than died from shark attacks. While it is fun to laugh and mock at these Darwin Award winners, not all selfie takers harm just themselves. In the winter of 2015, a criminal case from Jeannette, Pennsylvania made international news because the accused killer took a selfie snap with his victim. 16-year-old Maxwell Marion Morton used a 9mm handgun to shoot his friend Ryan Mangan, also 16, in the face. Mangan's mother later found her son dead inside of their Rankin Avenue home. Both men were classmates at Jeannette High School. Morton was also an on-again, off-again football player who wore jersey number 33. The details in this bizarre case are downright troubling. In the Snapchat message that was saved by a third party, Morton can be seen taking a relaxed selfie with Mangan's corpse in the background. Written above the message was the name Maxwell. Morton also sent 2 very puzzling messages. "Told you I cleaned up the shells," and "Ryan was not the last one." Inside of Morton's home, police investigators found one 9mm shell that traced back to a handgun that was also found at Morton's residence. According to his parents and friends, Mangan was a well-liked teenager who loved to swim and especially loved to hang out with his small circle of friends. At age 14, Mangan's family made his son volunteer at the Red Cross. When not volunteering or going to school, Mangan worked at McDonald's. Months before his death, Mangan transferred to an alternative school after participating in a fight. There, Mangan became close friends with Morton. Both teenagers especially loved playing first-person shooter video games. On the night of the murder, Morton claimed that the pair were playing around with a handgun while Mangan's mother was away. Morton's defense team at the trial tried to paint Morton's actions as the result of shock and a lack of knowledge concerning firearms. However, police officers who investigated the case have pointed out that Morton left Mangan to die rather than going to get help. This decision ultimately cost Mangan his life, for a medical examiner testified at the trial that the shot did not immediately kill Mangan. In May 2015, Morton was convicted of third-degree murder and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. The explanation behind Morton's cryptic texts have never been offered. Number 1. Killing Angela. In our sick, depraved world, vulnerable people are the ones most likely to be targeted by killers. Angela Wrightson was one such person living on the margins of society. An alcoholic who craved company in order to assuage her deep loneliness, Wrightson was very easy prey for a pair of teenage psychopaths. Prior to her brutal murder, Wrightson was unemployed and lived alone at her home in Hartlepool, England. Alco Ange was a frequently abusive drunk who drove most care workers away because of her unpredictable behavior. The ambulance service knew Wrightson well because of her frequent hoax calls, while the Cleveland police knew Wrightson because of her 47 criminal convictions. Neighbors regularly complained about the obnoxious Wrightson getting into fights or making noise well into the wee hours of the morning. A later autopsy revealed that Wrightson engaged in self-harm and had homemade tattoos that aggravated the cirrhosis in her liver. Like Alco Ange, who was estranged from her family and barely knew her 8 siblings, all of whom had been raised by different families over the British state, the pair of killers were in state care because of their damaged lives. One theory is that they killed Wrightson because the woman reminded them of some hated figure from their pasts. It's also entirely possible that the fatal beating of Alco Ange was a thrill kill done for the fun of it. On December 8, 2014, Wrightson sat outside of her home like usual and tried to strike up a conversation with anyone passing by. It was not uncommon for Wrightson to invite strangers into her home for long conversations. According to the police reports, the two killers, ages 13 and 14, did not want to talk to Wrightson. They wanted the older woman to buy them alcohol. The 39-year-old Wrightson obliged their request. As the three began drinking together, the party took a decidedly dark turn. For some reason, the girls decided to attack Wrightson, ultimately pummeling her with over 100 different injuries. The weapons these girls used are both mundane and horrifying: a television set, a computer printer, a coffee table, and a wooden stick. Wrightson begged for the girls to stop, but the killers continued to laugh their way through the assault. All told, police found that a semi-nude Wrightson had been assaulted in 12 different areas in her home. Just before the assault began, the girls posted a Snapchat picture. The photo shows all 3 women with Wrightson looking decidedly anxious or depressed. The lone caption read, "Nah XX." Later, Snapchat photos show the girls taking selfies wherein Wrightson is noticeably absent. A later Facebook call made by the girls contained the chilling quote, "Go on," name of older girl, "smash her head in, Bray, her effin' kill her." The girls were each sentenced to life in prison. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe for more.